Hello watch friends. A couple of months ago I took possession of this watch, the Seiko Dolce SACM 150, and I was convinced I had found the watch with the most beautiful dial Seiko has ever produced. But just a few weeks later, an alert popped up on eBay for another Seiko I had been eyeing for over a year. The Seiko Presage Cocktail Time Matcha SRPF 41J1. It was originally released in 2020 and limited to 7,000 numbered pieces, which isn't a tiny amount, but it did sell out. And by the time I knew about the watch, I could not find it anywhere online other than the secondary market for inflated prices. I've almost purchased this watch a few times before, but either there was a flaw or the price was too high. So I decided to wait, and my patience finally paid off late one Friday night when I spotted this on eBay and bagged a bargain from a really great guy. He gave me a great deal and even hand delivered the watch the very next day. What a legend. It was a full set too with box and papers, so I was really chuffed. Right then, let's take a closer look at this watch. The case is made of polished stainless steel and measures 38.5mm in diameter, with a thickness of 11.8 and a relatively short lug-to-lug measurement of 45.4. The side of the case is really beautifully shaped with angular lugs, and the crown is signed with the Seiko logo. The crystal is a boxed mineral, or as Seiko call it, hardlex, and if you flip the watch over you'll see there is an exhibition caseback showing off the movement with some engraved text, and as you can see this is number 1950 of 7000. Of course, the star of the show is the amazing dial with its green matcha tea texture and slight sunburst effect. It is a fume style with the outer edge being dark and getting progressively lighter towards the centre. There's a silver printed minute track and polished applied hour markers with even numbered Arabic numerals and odd numbered faceted markers, except at the 3 o'clock where there is a framed date window. The date window isn't colour matched to the dial, but it still blends in well enough. The dial text is limited to the applied Seiko branding beneath the 12 o'clock and the words Presage and automatic above the 6 o'clock. The hands are a silver Dauphine style with one polished edge and one brushed edge for contrast, and there's a thin seconds hand with a diamond counterbalance. There is no loom at all, and I think you'll agree the dial is quite spectacular. The movement is the 23 jewel Seiko 4R35 with a beat rate of 21,600 vibrations per hour and a power reserve of 41 hours. It does have hacking and hand winding. You can tell the watch has barely been worn because there's still a nice crisp action when winding the watch. However, to describe the movement as mediocre would be an understatement. It has a claimed accuracy rating of plus 45 to minus 35 seconds, which is certainly nothing to shout about. It isn't much to look at either, but it's still nice enough to see it through the display caseback. The strap is 18mm wide, tapering to 14mm at the clasp, and it's made from green genuine leather with a stainless steel milled deployant clasp. It's comfortable enough, but it's quite thick and it's not the most elegant strap. I first saw this watch on Instagram and it was sporting a stunning green alligator leather strap. So if this gets a lot of wrist time, I may well try to get something similar. So what's my verdict? Well, I think it's a majestic looking watch, pretty much unlike anything else you will see. The case shape isn't that remarkable, but it's well done and takes nothing away from the fantastic dial. This isn't the type of watch you're going to buy as a first watch. It most definitely is a luxury to have a watch like this in your collection. I would perhaps prefer it to be slightly smaller and slimmer, perhaps 36 or 37mm, but that's personal preference, as it is, it will suit a lot of wrists. There is one sticking point though, and that's the price. The original recommended retail price for this watch was £420, no doubt owing to the fact that it's a limited edition. It definitely doesn't reflect the quality of the movement, which you can find in much cheaper Seikos, or the other specifications, which are quite underwhelming. I was determined not to pay more than the retail price, and in the end I got a significant discount and paid a price I was happy with. The movement is not something that I get too hung up on, but I do like to see value for money. I don't want to be paying top dollar for a cheap movement or for mediocre specifications. It's not a perfect watch by any stretch of the imagination, but it has that little bit of pizzazz that many watches don't. Specifications and value are important, but they aren't what makes a watch special on the wrist. Seiko is lauded by watch enthusiasts for its affordable divers, but this is something totally different, and I'm glad Seiko makes watches like this. I thought I'd missed my chance of getting this watch at a great price, but the stars really aligned for me this time around, and I'm enormously grateful. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. That would be great. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.